actually starting pretty late compared to usual. I was eating dinner and I couldn't justify putting everything away, only to pull it right back out after this. So we're gonna go ahead and get to doing this. So what I want to do is figure out the next bit of pattern for this. What I really wanted to do tonight was make the pattern for that antique lace at the museum, but that will wait till next week. It'll be on my to-do list to actually just print it off so that way it's ready. But it's been a busy day. This morning I had the car meetup, then I had the farmer's market, and then I went and did some shopping till it was time to meet up with my friend for tea. And then, so yeah, it was just a busy day. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed today. Alright, so I think I'll finish up this bracelet first, although this would be just something convenient to finish up just out and about, so you know what? I'm just going to keep procrastinating on the cloak now that it's starting to get to be something until I get working on this. So let's just go ahead and sketch this up. Maybe that's from the crabs I was eating earlier. Ugh. Alright, so trying to remember the patterns off the top of my head. So this, it was 4, picot 2, picot, oh, it's not big enough. So 4, 4, 2, 2, and that would give me 3, and then it would be, and this would be doubled. So obviously, whatever we're going to want to do, although I am thinking of doing that onion ring kind of technique where they go like this. So, and they kind of like circle around. If you have looked up patterns for pumpkins with tatting, you have definitely seen this sort of thing. So, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it would have to be a maximum of 22 across. Oh, hello, Jason! Right now we're just figuring out what motif to make for the next bit of pattern for the cloak. So I'm thinking we'll do the onion rings like that. I might need to pull out a book to reference because I've only done onion rings like a couple of times. So, yes, it could be an opportunity to learn how to do a Catherine wheel join too. I've never actively tried to do that. That's one of those things where I'm not looking on YouTube, so I can't really quite reference that. So, yeah. So we'll go ahead and test this out. I have some more yarn that's DMC that's also supposedly a size 8, but it feels a lot flimsier. And in fact, I was using it for a bracelet, and at first blush it looks the same. I think I see it. It's just looser. This isn't bound as tightly. No wonder it feels bad. Anyway, let's go ahead and fill up this shuttle. So I am going to need it to be 22 in total across for the exterior layer. We'll go ahead and wind this up. So how's everybody been doing? We have a couple people on viewing the stream right now, and I'd like to hear from y'all. How have your weeks been? This is so much quieter than the clicky, like regular shuttles, because they go click, click, click. And it breaks up some of the silence. Mine's been pretty good, to be honest. That's awesome! That's so good to hear. Oh my goodness, these crabs are burning up my ring finger. Oh, maybe I need to wash the ring. Whew. I ate blue crabs for dinner, and the Old Bay, I must have cut myself. It feels like that finger is on fire. What's everyone been up to as well? Scissors. Maybe I did, yeah. I hear people tend to have a lot of issues with getting little cuts and everything, and it's stinging really bad after eating crabs. Doesn't look inflamed. Oh, wait. There's a little scratch right there. It's probably where it's stemming from. This feels like the whole area. So maybe I scraped it. Just didn't realize. Alright, so for the onion ring, let's see, 22 total across. Not entirely sure that I want to make it so it's a really big ring. Although if it's multiple layers, so we have 22, oops, it would actually be 11, 11, 11, and 11. We'd have picos here and here and here. Everything joining together like this. So, another iteration of that. But we'd have to have a smaller one inside. And from what I've seen, they're usually only joined on the top and the bottom. So it'll look like a creepy eye. Ooh, like a creepy eye. Be not afraid. Okay, so let's see. The question is what size to make this? Because this will need a teeny tiny little pico right here, and then it'll just come off of that. I am not sure. Man, and I am not at work, so I don't have calipers. So I can't measure how thick this is. I want to say this is 1/8 of an inch. But then how big is this overall contraption? I tell you, these Victorinoxes, like, I not sponsored, just me geeking out over it. Where's the end I want? Haha. I had to wash this because I was vegan for so many years. I don't have a lot of things. One of them being a crab claw cracker. And I took home a bunch of them from my partner's family dinner. And this has pliers on them, so I just made it work. I also didn't even own a nutcracker. Haven't really needed to. I just usually buy nuts without the shell, unless they're pistachios. Right. Got myself distracted. Okay, so this going across. 1 inch. So 1 inch by 1 inch is the 22. Although, it's not actually necessarily the 22. because that's going like straight across, it's not open. So it might be even bigger. So I'm just gonna wing it. Grab you. And I was at that, I want to call it a tea house, but I feel like tea house is also a euphemism for something that I am not aware of at this point. But it's like the old Victorian era style house that they serve afternoon tea in. And they had we had lunch there, but they also had an antique store in there, and I bought this beautiful tatted bag. I've come across a few doilies here and there, like this one that have had tatting on them, some little bits and bobs, hankies, things like that. But this was the first time I'd seen like a bag, and I have my speculations as to what it's been for, but I don't know for sure. I have no idea how many are on this. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so I think it's 14. So we'll go ahead and lots of possibilities. Yep. Lots of possibilities, like Jason said. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14. This is going to be a very big ring. Let's take a look at this. See how it's still pretty small. It's about the size of the center of that. Oh, sorry, wrong one. It might still be a bit too small. But let's go ahead and bring this to completion, and then I can get some ideas going off of that. Yep, right now it appears that it might just be too small. That whole Goldilocks situation. Two, 3, 3. So the stream on Wednesday, for those of you who have not seen, I'm going to be posting about it to the Instagram and to the blog in a bit, but on Wednesday I'll be testing this out. The stream might actually end up later than usual, simply because my fiance and I are going blackberry picking, and it's I might be getting home much later than usual. So, because at this current point in time, we don't live together, just the way things have shaken out and all that. So we're looking for a place and all that jazz, and we'll get married after we find a house. But as it stands now, we're just really looking for a place and all that fun stuff. But blackberry picking will be really nice. And then he might want to play some video games. We bought Earth Defense Force off of Steam. They were having a sale, and I had this huge jar of coins that I'd just been throwing money in, like just random change in for 3 years. Everything except my quarters, because I would use that for the laundromat, just because I don't want to hand wash all my laundry every day, and I don't have space for a full-on washing machine. So, a few more. So yes, everything except quarters, and there was still $40 in that. I have no idea how there was, but the Coinstar was going to take $5 of it. 5 of the 40. That's a ridiculous amount, like a ridiculous percentage, I feel. So, but with Steam, they had like a partnership thing where they weren't going to take any of the money. And since he's got this really nice gaming gaming desktop, I was like, yes, let's use it and get a game we can play together. So we bought Earth Defense Force and a few other games, but that's the one that I am most looking forward to. I don't know if I'll be able to use my fight stick. I have a really nice one, and that's the controller I have over there. I wonder if we'll be able to hook up a 360 controller and play that alongside. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. That'll be interesting. But I don't know if he'd be comfortable with me sharing his Twitch handle. Like, I know he really likes to stream, but I also know it's his own thing as well, so I won't share his handle unless I get his permission. I was just telling him yesterday that I had a really cool idea. It's like the same vibe of like the dad from Final Fantasy 15, like Noctis's dad. He's got like this rugged beard and like the dark hair and everything. I'm like, as far as I know, I haven't played Final Fantasy 15, but he looks like he could be an evil king. I can go into Steam settings and use different controllers. Oh, cool. But yeah, my partner, he has like kind of like aesthetic vibe almost to that king character from 15, so I'm just like, I kind of want to tat a black lace crown and do like a royalty photo shoot with him. I feel like it would be super cool, but he doesn't seem jazzed about it. Like, come on. I have a friend who does photography, Mark Hall, and he does mostly post-apocalyptic photography, which is really cool. So, I can imagine that would be fun, right? Like a post-apocalyptic evil king, that would be like just the coolest shoot. Oh no, there wasn't enough on this outside ring. Ah! Okay. So, how many were on here? Even so, let's take a look at this in comparison. This is still pretty small. Maybe if I did 3 rows, but that was getting difficult and unwieldy. Maybe if I did like a bunch of teeny tiny ones, but then there's no guarantee they'd all line up. This cloak is proving to be a challenge on so many levels, but that's really good for the brain. Some more water. Gotta keep hydrated. know if any of you watching are on the East Coast, but today the air was so bad. I was standing outside at the car club just chit-chatting with my pals, and there was a point where the air felt so heavy and it hurt to breathe. Then I got in my car, was finally able to catch my breath with the recirculate on, and drove over to the farmer's market. And I was outside chatting with people I used to sell stuff with, because I used to sell stickers and whatnot. And they, so I was chatting with the other vendors and just catching up. But there was a point where I was just like, okay, Barbara, I have to leave. Because it was just my chest. It felt like there was that sensation of sleep paralysis demons. I thankfully have never experienced one of those myself, but from the descriptions, it felt exactly like those are described. And it wasn't like an asthma attack coming on. It's been a long time since I've had one of those, but I'll never forget what that feels like. Ooh. Have any of you experienced like sleep paralysis yourselves? I've only experienced it once, and I didn't hallucinate. I might have had an audio hallucination that one time, but I'm not entirely sure. How about you guys? And I can go into detail if anyone wants, because it was a pretty funny situation. My foot fell asleep. Oh no. Wake up, foot. Alright. Let's see. Do I make them small? Do I make them big? Don't think you've ever had one of those experiences. Fair enough. So that's kind of what's going on with this one. So I would like to make it so it's, it would have to be 3 per, which isn't super unusual. It would have to be a fair bit smaller. But if they're all going to be the onion ring style, that's going to be small. Unless I make them long, but then it runs the risk of looking like something lewd potentially, and that's not what I'm going for. Tricky. So, doing the larger one seems like the optimal option. But I don't know. What do I want to do? I think this is one of those things I'm just going to have to sleep on and really fiddle around with and decide in the moment. Get out of here. Oh, I almost put that in my cup by accident. Yeah, this is really coming along. I haven't worked on the wreath too much since last week. That's still just sitting on the shelf. I've been trying to get this jewelry done so I can take it to this vendor, so that way she can pick out what she wants and just start carrying it in her shop. Whoa, there's my shuttle. So that one's there and ready to go. So there we go. Yeah, so Wednesday is this, and if the kit isn't suitable for teaching how to properly tat, then I'll be doing the live stream next Sunday on that specifically, beginner's tatting. And if it is, then I will be breaking into that pattern on stream as opposed to by myself. The antique pattern that I talked about remaking 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Although it could be an excellent opportunity to just learn how to read patterns doing that on stream, I don't know. I do want to get it done before somebody else gets the jump on it. I've already procrastinated too long for it, so maybe I'll just make that my at-work project during my breaks. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, and 8. So what is everybody else's plans for the week? Like I mentioned, I'm going blackberry picking, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of lace stuff. But what's everyone else been up to? I always feel like other people are probably more interesting than myself anyway, so I really like to hear what they're up to. So I encourage everyone to share, even if you're usually a lurker. 1, 1. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Ooh, Jason has their yarn. That's awesome. 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Now, I remember, Jason, you were talking about getting some shuttles as well, ordering those and then buying the yarn locally. Got a few different colors. Awesome! So you can play around with that. Yes! Super exciting. If your shuttles don't come in by Sunday, when we do the beginners live stream, or if you want to follow along, and we'll see and go from here with this, there's actually a way you can make your own tatting shuttle. So, and you just, basically all you need is cardboard. I would like to put up a little pattern for it on Etsy at some point, but it's not a priority at the moment. Clean this off. I washed it off because it was so covered in crab debris. So like everything I scrubbed, and then I didn't have any proper oil for it, so I just used vegetable oil. Ugh. But yes, what was I? Oh yeah, we were measuring this. So this is about 2 3/4 by 3/4. So, poor crab. It was many crabs, but yeah, so 2.75, 3/4. I am not writing this very nicely for technical drawing. And then, so what you'll want to do is you'll want to kind of make like a leaf shape, kind of like these, with around this width and around this length. And there's shuttles that are smaller, shuttles that are bigger. This will give you actually a really good opportunity to play around with and decide what size shuttle is best for your hands. I have my own reasons for loving these shuttles, but they do make shuttles in all kinds of different sizes. Like this one is much shorter. So if you have really small hands, this one could be a better option. But anyway, this is pretty standard. So about that, make a banana leaf, or not banana leaf, make a leaf shape, and then use a hole puncher, and then cut a slit so you can wind the yarn through, but then the yarn won't just fall off. So, yeah. 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. I hear the fireworks going on out there. I don't know if you guys can hear it for the 4th of July here in America. They're getting louder. Ooh, actually, maybe I should just do that stream on Tuesday. I'll be off of work, so I could just do it any old time of day. That might be ideal. And then we could take our sweet time doing that. That actually is probably better than doing it on Wednesday. At least for me it is. I don't know about y'all. So I think I might actually just simply do that on Tuesday. Hold on, I need to mute my mic real quick. Sorry about that. Again, the air quality has been very bad around here. Get on there nicely. I don't want to blow out anybody's speakers or headphones or anything like that. But yeah, so the technique, I got distracted by that and the fireworks. The technique I'm using is called the single shuttle split ring. It's a little tricky to do this with many extra little bits and bobs on it. It's just a way of letting you do chains, or not chains, rings, in a repetitive type of pattern without having to bust out a second shuttle to make sure everything just goes smoothly. So every ring on this bracelet is a single shuttle split ring except for this one, and then same will be for the final one as well, which we're actually coming up on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. And so with the tatting, you make the knot on here, but when you pull it, it actually transfers the knot onto this. So it ends up this being the core bit running through the center. And you can see how this is ever so slightly thicker than this side. Or just one string, in fact. And it's because this is running through the center, just bulking it up ever so slightly. But it is very convenient to not need 2 shuttles to do certain things. In fact, a handful of these are actually single shuttle split rings. So for instance, all these connecting to each other, this is a single shuttle split ring, so that way, because it starts here, so it can come out here. And then this one's a single shuttle split ring, so I had to go, but then I had to kind of double back, and so I had to bring it out here. And then on this one, it's this one. So it's the same process, essentially, but you can sometimes add some more depth to it than just making a single chain of rings. Alright, we need this one. So we'll do this ring, and then there will be one more ring which will have this up against the base, and then this will be a part of it. So we're actually getting up close on the end of that. So I'll stay through the end of this bracelet, except for maybe the finishing details. I'm not a big fan of It's not my favorite part of tatting, and I don't particularly feel like doing that on stream either. Hi, B-Bimmel! B-Bimmel popped in, says hi. So how are you? I'm well, and how about yourself? 3, 4, 4, 5. And now I'm dropping things. There we go. 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. I really need to look up what all the different symbols by everyone's names are. How is that possible to start a week without watching my stream, right? I mean, I don't watch my streams in the beginning of the week. But I do enjoy doing this, so I plan to keep doing it for a nice long time. You're good. Good to hear. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8. Because of the reason is I stream only Sunday. So I was actually just talking about this. It's not going to be a weekly thing, but Tuesday, since I'm off of work during the day on July 4th, so it won't be around dinner time, but probably in the morning before anyone's actively really getting into anything, I'm actually going to be diving into this tatting kit and playing around with it, getting a feel for it, and seeing if it's actually any good and if I would recommend it for people to get as a beginner tatting kit. If you want, you are welcome to get a shuttle and some yarn of your own if there's a store that sells it locally. But you can make your own out of cardboard. If you make a leaf shape that's about 2 3/4 of an inch long, I'm not sure how long that is metric. My Victorinox didn't actually mention that. Wait a second, these aren't made in America, so why does it have only hold on. Why does it not have... Yeah, that's only inches. Oh! Ooh! Ooh! Okay. So about 7 centimeters by 2 centimeters. So about... Ah! Yes! Okay. I never looked at the other side of that. Oh, I feel so silly. So 7 cm, so 70 millimeters. And then, what was that, 2 centimeters? And then you make it leaf-shaped, and if you have a hole puncher, punch a hole in 2 different spots and then do a slit. Just don't cut anything out, just snip it. And then you can wind the yarn up on it, and then you can also experiment with different shapes if it ends up being too big or too small for your hands. And then, if you decide you like tatting enough, that with doing it with the cardboard shuttle, then you can invest the few bucks in a shuttle that is more comfortable for your hand size. So for instance, if this one ends up being too big, something like this might be more your speed. So plenty of options. Plenty of options. Ooh, okay, so my hands are all greasy from washing and re-oiling that knife. Okay, so this is the last one on this. And then after this, we'll end up wrapping up the stream. And I need to publish last week's stream to the YouTube channel. I've been taking too long for that. 4, 5, 5. So 7 by 2. Okay. Fire, ice, 8 all. Hello. Hi, nice to meet you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're actually catching the tail end of the stream. We're about to wrap it up. So since this one is not a single shuttle split ring, we're going to go ahead and slide this right here and then start just tatting normally. How am I? I am doing quite well. I hope you're doing well too. So how is it going? 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Tired? Well, it might be time to get some rest. As a culture, I don't know if you're based in America, but if you are, American culture has a way of pushing people to the point of exhaustion. So it's important to do something to recharge yourself and relax. And actually recharge yourself. I know a lot of people say they find TV watching relaxing, but then it ends up not actually being so. Alright, so there's this. This is what this is going to get mounted to. What was I? Needle, right. So, I accidentally stepped on one of these buggers. One managed to escape, and I hadn't noticed it had done so. I don't know how long that needle was on the floor sticking up, but this morning it just stuck me in the foot like a jerk. So, after I shouted in surprise, I turned on the flashlight and found her. And into the little end mill container it went. That's what this used to be for. It was for a very tiny end mill. There we go. Come on. There we go. Trying a new pattern. A little bit. This is something I've done many times. It's just a bracelet. I'm actually planning on selling them. So I have my prices calculated up. I want to get a certain amount done of these and to take them to a retail shop where she's expressed interest in selling my stuff. Yep, it's a bracelet. And anything she doesn't want, I'll go ahead and just put up on the website. I'm busy setting that up as well to sell one-offs of things. But yep, so that's what we're doing right now. Making a little bit of stocks and bits and bobs. How much time will it take to make a bracelet? So this particular one takes about 20 minutes, and that's if everything goes right. You know, sometimes things can go wrong, you end up wasting a fair bit of time, but if everything is going perfectly and smoothly, it can take as little as 20 minutes. But that's this specific one where a good portion of it is chain as opposed to lace. And it's also if I'm focused. So reading a chat and going back and forth also will slow me down pretty sufficiently as well. But yep, that's this bracelet. So there's that. And then, and the piece of ribbon. So this will go in the shop. Well, first it's going to go to the retail shop, and we're going to see if the lovely lady wants this one, along with any others for sets. And if not, it will end up in the online website. And if it does, I might make another one to put in the shop, because obviously it seems likable enough for that then. And there we go. So, yeah. Suppose I should probably put the chain around the back. I don't know. But yep, so we have this all done. I suppose it's time for me to clean up and relax for a little bit. It's been a very busy day, and my arm is tore up. My hand is finally feeling better, so I can put my ring back on. There we go, right back where it belongs. Okay, so there we go. Bye everybody, you have a good week. Or maybe I'll see you Tuesday. I'll probably be live streaming Tuesday morning Eastern time. So I'm not going to commit to a specific time, but I'm thinking 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern time, USA, so the New York time zone if you have a time converter on your phone. I don't know what that would be for anyone else's particular country, which is why I noted that, Eastern time. But that's around when I'll aim to do the live stream on Tuesday, July 4th. So yep, so that's, I think that's going to be it for now, and I'm excited about checking this out and reviewing it and everything. And then, depending on how good of a guide this is, if it can teach a few of you as well, along with me trying to learn how to tat right-handed dominant, then in that case, then Sunday will be me trying to archive an antique lace in terms of making the pattern, but if not, then that will be a beginner lace making class, and I might do the pattern making sometime next week and do that as a little one-off as well. So yep, I wish there was a way to schedule in Twitch for a one-off event, but they only have the repeated things for the schedule, which is a shame because sometimes schedules change. Anyway, I am starting to ramble on, so I will see all of you lovelies later. So have a good one. Bye-bye!